What's going on?
Not too much.
Sorry, I feel like I was just running around so much. I gotta catch my breath.
Yeah, you're good. No worries. I'm not in a rush at all.
This is Kay Goutos, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody's watching or listening.
Or preferably both.
Yeah. I just had Chad Crandall came on last week.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm noticing a trend. He's like, the first 3 episodes, myself included, have just been these big fat guys coming on the podcast. I was like, okay, it's coming on next week. It'll be okay.
I'll even it out a little bit.
Yeah. But this worked out really well, like, because you got a cool show, open mic tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, and I'm glad that I was able to align it since I'm not living in town anymore. I gotta double up on those trips. But yeah, we're hosting an open mic for it's the first one, debut one at JMO's Pub, right in downtown Lake George. My buddy Jameson Duffy owns it, and we've been in chats of doing some sort of comedy there since he opened up in May, and I'm glad it finally worked out.
Yeah,
so.
I'm excited. This will be a neat show to have up
here. It's gonna be fun. It's a cute little pub. It's a good venue. The food's great. I don't know if you're gonna be going hungry, but Chef Benny, I actually used to work under him in the kitchen. Under him, excuse me. That sounds not what I meant. So, under him in a kitchen at the Trap years ago. Okay. And he's just phenomenal chef. So yeah, nice. I highly recommend him.
That's cool. I've heard good things about the food there. I've just not tried it yet.
Yeah, he crushes it.
So good. This will come out after the show tonight, but this is going to be a regular open mic?
Yes, it's going to be the third Wednesday of the month, every month. Cool. I'm not sure if we'll go through summer. We'll have to check in. You know how it is in this area where, unfortunately, sometimes something like this could displace, some business for for the venue. So definitely throughout the winter, which is just a nice thing for locals to do something different. And the Albany comedy scene hasn't had a Wednesday mic for a few weeks now. So hopefully they'll get some fire underneath the butt to get some people here.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Plus, it's just like a cool place to do shows and mics because especially during the summer, we get a lot of tourists that come through. And there's not really one close here other than Saratoga.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice. It's nice for those guys to get some new audience in front of them, a different vibe. Because a consistent mic is nice, but sometimes it can be a little, the repetition can be a lot. So
it's a little tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Be a little daunting.
Yeah, but no. Hopefully this goes well. I'm really looking forward to see the turnout and do it there tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be fun.
The last one we had up here, the open mic, was at the Lagoon.
Correct. Yeah,
that was really fun.
That was fun. Yeah, and did you go to? You couldn't make both of them, right? You could only make the second one, if I'm not mistaken. You went to the one that was out in the dining room, right?
Well, I went to the one that was in the smaller room, too.
Oh, you did? Okay, so you went to both of them. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the turnout was a little bit better for the first one than the second one, but overall they were both really fun.
Yeah,
so,
it was. Yeah, the audiences were spectacular.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
There's not a huge. I don't know. There's not a lot of comedy to be seen around here, and that's been half the fun for the past couple of years producing comedy shows around here, is just to bring that to the town and to this area. And I'm sure you can relate to that too with the shows that you're producing.
Yeah. The What's Going On podcast is proud to be sponsored by MediocreAssistance.com. Do you need counseling but don't care if you actually get better? Do you want to talk to someone about your life but don't really care if they're licensed? Do you want to tell others that you're in counseling but don't want them to know that your counselor is a fry cook from Wyoming? Then Mediocre Assistance is for you. At MediocreAssistance.com, they'll pair you with a random-ass person who is dramatically underqualified to help you with your problems. Now you may be wondering, what's the purpose of this? Why should I tell a random person all of my problems? Well, the benefit of this to you is to yet be determined. At only $300 per session, you will leave feeling confused, dumbfounded, and overall worse than you did before. MediocreAssistance.com cares about you and your life, as long as you pay the full amount on time. If you use discount code BOOZECRUISE, you'll be sent a free bottle of tequila with your initial sign-up. MediocreAssistance.com. We care. Kind of. Part of the reason I wanted to have you on was just to talk about that, like the comedy scene in Lake George in particular, but also like I want to hear your upbringing in comedy. Like
sure,
I kind of know your story, but
yeah, totally.
I'd love to talk about it some more.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get the rest of the crew to be able to hear my story too.
Yeah.
Well, so I started doing comedy. Let's see, a little over 2 years ago, it just, it's one of those things which I'm sure you can understand that once you start, you can't really stop.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of get into it and you love it. A lot of the idea for me when I first started doing it was I wanted to, like we talked about, bring it to the area since it's not that accessible for a lot of people, and then just kind of make my life easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just like, yeah, I can go travel to Albany, travel to these other places to go do it and stuff, but like, it'd be nice to do it in my own backyard,
This is true.
So, my story is kind of weird with comedy. I actually had my first show booked before I even did an open mic, which is so ass backwards. Like at the time, I didn't even think anything of it, and then now I'm just like, what the hell? It's just kind of weird.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that show before, and it was like a pretty long show.
It was really bad. So what happened is I was like telling everybody that I was doing, and to just so everyone knows it, and it makes sense that I was working at the Trap, like I just mentioned, so that's what my in was. I just pretty much text my boss. I'm like, can I do a comedy show here? If I had just gone up to some random venue and they're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like, that would be so different, you know? So I got really lucky that he was super supportive of that. What it kind of was, how it worked out is I turned it into like my birthday party. So it was like a clever way for me to trick all my friends to go. I was just like, this is what I'm doing for my birthday. Like, come through, come celebrate. And I had months to prepare, so that was good. But over those months, people were like spiraling for me at the thought of me doing this. They're like, "How are you going to do an hour?
Right.
You know, like, what do you mean you're going to do an hour?" I'm like, I'm like, isn't that how long a comedy show usually is? Like, I'm just doing what do you mean? They're like, how do you have that much material? I'm like, I just do. So I just kept writing and I kept writing and I kept writing and I let all these people get to me. And then I ended up writing over an hour worth of material.
Nice.
And no, not nice. No. Like I have that footage, but I have it. It's on YouTube.
Nope.
Yes, that's the one. I have that footage on YouTube. It is not listed, so you cannot. It was listed.
Right now.
It was listed, and it got a lot of views. And then I unlisted it once I got into comedy more and was like, that is a shit show. Some of those jokes I still use to this day, so I will give myself some credit. But it was really just kind of like a full-on therapy session, and I guess I really needed that. And everyone was so nice about it, but holy, that was cringe.
Yeah.
Like,
were you like? Did you feel like you were bombing the whole time, or like how did it feel?
I kind of like. I settled into the bomb after a while, you know, like I was just kind of like, and some stuff was getting some laughs and I was like just storytelling. And I also like was really weird about it too, because I was talking about some really personal stuff. So like I was feeling like a little vulnerable about it. And I'm like, how about I just turn the whole thing into a joke where I called it Rita's dumpster fire. So I was pretending like it was my friend, that this all happened to my friend. Yeah. But that made it so much harder because then I was like talking and like, oh, and then this happened to Rita. And like I'd mess it up a lot of times and just like was talking about myself. It was like this whole shit show, but it was just kind of funny. And there was like over 70 people there.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, that was probably the most people I've ever had at a show.
Yeah. Like you said, that's a big show.
I know. I was like, wow, this is so cool. But I mean, to look at the crowd, it was everyone I know, you know. So it was really good, and it was a whole thing. Like a lot of it was like Rita's dumpster fire love life. So most of it was about like exes and stuff. And one of my exes was actually outside vending at the Trap. Like they used to like do these like weed vending things where like people would come and sell their product and he would do that. So like I aligned it perfectly with that to just troll him. So he's just like outside selling weed knowing that I'm getting like talking so much shit about him, and I just was like, this is Just
Yeah.
you know? I loved it. And he loved it too. He's like, she's talking about me still.
Yeah, maybe I wonder if it helped the sales maybe.
Probably. They're like, poor guy, I'll take a double. Like, I don't know.
Or on the adverse effect, they're like, after that show, I need to smoke something like
true.
No.
Or they're like, fuck that guy, I'm not buying weed from him. That guy's an asshole. Who knows?
Yeah. That's funny. I feel like you're so like lovable. I feel like people would take your side and be like, give him the finger. And, like, tell him to piss
they all
off.
were like, that guy's an asshole, but we love him anyways. It was a whole thing. It was kind of like an inside joke, and he thought it was funny too. Like, what the best part was is he thought the whole thing was going to be about him, and there was probably only like 15 minutes that was about him. So then it's just like whatever. But
it's still a long time.
Yeah.
And I say nice like to you doing that show because. Like, especially being new, writing that much up front is wild.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I was writing all this stuff, and I would practice at home, but I still hadn't hit a mic for, like, a couple months. And eventually my boss was like, you need to go to an open mic.
Right.
Like, I'm letting you do this, but, like, what are you doing?
Right,
you know? And I'm just like,
I'm
like, I can do whatever I set my mind to. I think it was a little bit of, like, a manic episode, too. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But so he went with me to the open mic and stuff in Saratoga. He was like, we're going to go to this. Let's see, you know, and that's when I met all the guys. And it was funny. Everyone, like, thought I was already, like, an established comic because I had this like show booked, and they're like, who is this chick? I had like this legitimate poster, but just because I have a buddy who does graphic design, and
they probably thought it was your manager you brought to the open mic.
Well, we had a joke that he was my manager too. Like, yeah, totally. It was this whole thing. And I remember like everyone was trying to like, a couple of the guys were like, oh, can I open up for you? I'm like, fuck out of here. Like, just you can't book your own show, so you're trying to like double up on mine. Now I work with those guys all the time, so it's just funny how that works.
Do you remember who was at the open mic?
Oh, there was it was pretty much the whole crew was there, but it was Mike Burnett who was just like he was like, I could open up and get the crowd warmed for you. I'm like, nah, I got this. And thank God I didn't have him do it because it would have been like a 3-hour show. It would have been atrocious.
That's so funny.
But yeah, after that, I was like, obviously I need to do as much comedy as possible and like actually hone this craft, you know. It takes a while to do that, as you know.
Yeah. That's super cool though. Mad respect for doing an hour your first time on stage.
It was a little more than an hour. It was almost 2 hours. It's so horrible to even say that out loud. Like, I don't know. But that's crazy. Mean, it definitely got me comfortable on stage quick, I guess.
Yeah, you'd have to be.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I think people underestimate how hard it is to get material built up, even for like a 3-4 minute set.
I know.
That long, you know.
Well, that's why, like, you know, it's always quantity or quality over quantity. You know, with comedy, it's like, I had 2 hours worth of material, but like probably. There's probably like 10 jokes from that show that I still use, if that, you know, and a lot of them never have seen the stage again, and just shouldn't.
You should. I was gonna say you should bring him back out. The next show you do,
maybe
just do a full set from there.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's so funny. We should do a challenge too, like next show you do, if you get it sold, like sold out show. Yeah. You should release that video on YouTube.
Oh my God. Hey, maybe that's I don't know. We'll give it was funny too, because since it was so long, I had to like upload it on YouTube in sections. So there's like part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Yep. And then it's just like part 1 had like over 100 views. I'm like, sweet. Nice. The rest did not have as many views. Like, people saw that first like 30 minutes. They were like, nope. Like, I feel bad for her, you know? That's wild. And I kind of went in like a chronological order of my existence too. So like I started off with a lot of like childhood trauma and kind of went from there. So it was a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it'd probably be rough to have it too, like especially if you have videos now that you're like submitting to competitions and stuff.
Yeah, right.
That's not the one you would want them to see.
Oh my God, no! We were just talking about like how it's hard to post clips and stuff. Like I used to post clips from that all the time when I first started, because that's really all I had, and now I'm just like scrolling trying to delete that shit off my. I don't want evidence. I'm like, holy, can you delete that from your mind? Like,
it's not who I am anymore.
Exactly. I'm slightly less delusional now. So.
Well, dang, that's interesting. So, what after that show? What were you? You just started hitting up mics? And
I was like, at first I hit up like a few mics after that, and then there was actually Sam Holder was doing some shows at the Trap as well because he knew my old boss.
Is this place in Fort Anne?
Yeah, yeah. So Sam Holder started doing some showcases there, and then I was just like, I work here. Like, can I just do some time on your showcase? And they're like, yeah, whatever. So I was doing like a few shows after that, and then like a couple mics, but I was busy with work. So I wasn't really prioritizing the mics, and I remember very vividly. I was still living in my parents' basement at this point, and I was like bed rotting all day one day, and I was just like laying in bed, and I was just dreaming about this like life that I wanted with comedy, and I could see it all in the mind's eye, and I was manifesting all this shit. I'm just like, I'm not gonna be able to accomplish this just sitting in my parents' fucking basement. Like, I've got to make some real moves, and it was that moment that I like started taking it very seriously and was like, I need to practice as much as possible. Like, I this isn't just gonna be handed to me. Like, I got very lucky with what I've had so far, but like, if I wanted to go anywhere else, I need to actually put in the work, you know.
Super cool. I remember listening to you on, I think, the Super Salad podcast. This is like when I first started off. You would mention like having goals or like listing out goals. I was like, I need to fucking do that. So I wrote out like a bunch of goals, especially for this year because I just started like last February or 2 Februarys ago. So like this year I was like, okay, I want to get like 50 open mics. I want to like do like 10 videos on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. And, like,
I love that.
It's really nice having those goals and like actually making moves.
Exactly. When you have it on paper like that, you can take the proper steps to get there, and it doesn't feel like this like crazy outlandish dream as much when you're just like, all right, maybe the end goal is kind of crazy. Like, I want to be famous for doing comedy and like whatever, be an actor. But you know, when you break it down to get to there and like have those steps, it just, you can do anything you put your mind to, you know. It's just gonna take some time.
It is. And like, it's definitely a long game thing. Like, it's not, it'd be really crazy like for you to get all these goals like right away. It's
exactly.
Like, it is about hitting up the mics and making connections and like
totally. Yeah. It's like those little moments add up to the big moments. And, you know, I started doing like a lot of like kind of research and stalking of other comedians who have made it big to see like what their timelines are, so I could have like a realistic expectation for myself. And it does seem like that 10-year mark is like the hot spot for a lot of people, and that's like 10 years is gonna go by no matter what. So you might as well fucking do what you love and put in some work. And like I can't imagine how many times people would probably want to quit over those years. I've even had moments where I'm just like, I'm done with this. Like, Patrick and I joke about it all the time. Like, I'll just randomly be like, I'm done. And he's like, yeah, right. You know, we just make fun of each other. It's like, no, we're not. But sometimes you get into that headspace, but then you just keep trucking along and you do what you got to do and hope for the best.
10 years is like the mark I've heard everybody say.
It's
like,
weird. Isn't that so weird? It kind of feels like some like magic thing, you know?
It does. It's like a little discouraging because 10 years seems like a long time.
It does.
To make a career out of something you really want to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it makes sense because you have to you have to do the open mics. You have to go through the paces of like being comfortable on stage, writing material, and making those connections. And if you don't do that, like, it's just not going to happen on its own.
Exactly. So. Yeah. And it's funny too because when you're honing a craft like that too, like 10 years kind of makes more sense too when you look at it more like an art as opposed to just a business. Of course it's both, you know, but you know, Picasso didn't become Picasso overnight or some shit. I'd imagine that.
Born with a paintbrush in his hand.
Yeah, right. You never know though.
I know, Who knows? There's some people out there that are just genuinely funny, like right off the rip. Like, they get up on stage and you can't help but laugh at them. But it's still like, even those people that you think would be like instantly famous are like, you still have to have time and material.
You still got to put in that work.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also like for me at least, it's been like a humbling process.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, how like much blind confidence I've had at times where I'm like, I want to go and crush this mic right now. Like, I'm gonna make an impression on this dude that's like probably a producer for MTV or Comedy Central or something like that. I'm gonna do so great, and then like fucking bomb.
It was like with my debut show, I was just like, I gotta get this on YouTube. Someone's discovering me. You know, the delusion is real.
This is my moment.
It's kind of scary, the delusion, but part of the delusion is the magic behind it, because like those moments that you are delusional and then you go and bomb, you get humbled, but when you go up there and then you crush, then you're like, see, I'm on to something here. I know I'm not too crazy.
Right. But you also have to have like confidence in yourself to be able to keep doing it. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Like,
if you have no confidence,
you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the biggest challenge, at least. You know, I like to think that, I don't know, it's funny because you're like, oh, like I believe in myself, but like, is this even possible? It's a lot, you know, it's kind of feels like a little delusional, but you know, it can bring you someplace that you really want to be.
Yeah.
So.
What are your like goals over the next few years? And
Yeah, so my goals have like kind of changed a little bit, which, you know, that, excuse me, that happens just because there's real life, you know. When I first started off, I was, you know, this single girl that couldn't be held down and was probably going to move to New York City, even though I can't stand living in a city. But I'm like, that's the only way.
Right.
So very much like kind of had like that and as the goals, but you know, now I'm dating Patrick now, and he's got kids and he's got to be a dad, I guess, you know, that's his priority. So we got to stick around for a little bit. So no big moves or anything like that to any big city. And I honestly, like, I know myself. I know I wouldn't really love living in New York City. And I'm a huge product of my environment as well. So I very much could see myself just kind of fucking off a lot in the city as well. You know, like, sure, there's a lot of comedy to do, but, you know, there's a lot of partying.
There's a lot of partying,
you know? So not the most... I don't have a lot of self-control, unfortunately, with a lot of that type of stuff. So goals, I would say, really just trying to write as much as possible and just hit as many mics as possible and really give back to the Albany comedy scene as much as possible and donate my time to that to just build something from where we are right now. And I, you know, one day, it might make sense to live closer to a city, but we're not even that far from New York, you know? Like, if I were to get shows booked down there, I would be more than happy to hop on a train and go there regularly, you know? Like, I'd rather be a little out of the way and then go in and do my thing and then leave, you know?
And it's honestly probably cheaper.
True, absolutely. But yeah, I'm looking for like a lot more like acting opportunities these days too, really trying to like kind of get that craft honed in a little bit more. Unfortunately, there's not like acting open mics, so it's not like I can, of course I could take some classes or something, but those are expensive. So maybe one day, but just trying to get as many of those gigs as possible. I got the movie coming out soon, and I'm really excited about. So that's going to be huge. I'm really excited to have that credit, you know, and kind of be able to build off of that. Have like a little bit of a resume now in that department that I've been auditioning for some other roles and stuff, and nothing yet, but I'm eager to get there and just kind of keep developing that aspect of it. But, you know, we'll see where that goes, and just trying to put the work in and see where it takes me. Yeah.
That's kind of the exciting part. You don't exactly know what's going to happen, but like,
exactly.
Right move,
and it's kind of funny how things change, you know, like kind of saw a different avenue with it, but feeling really supported in the work now with my partner, and that's important too, you know, like it's kind of like that hyper independent, like this is my thing, I'm doing my own thing, I don't need anybody. It's like, it's okay to need people. It's okay to lean into people.
And it's cool. I mean, Patrick's a comic, so like
exactly,
it's really cool. Like,
really ideal, you know. So he's got the same goals and dreams, and so that really aligns, and we can just support each other in that. And we're just constantly writing together, just not sitting down and be like, all right, let's write jokes. It's very much just like yapping and then seeing what comes of it, and then we're like, all right, whose joke is that? No, it's my turn. No, that one fits better for me. And sometimes I'll try a joke, and then he'll try a joke on stage, and then we'll be like, all right, I guess that's yours. You did better with it, you know.
Like fight over it.
It's like the only thing we fight over in our relationship. So that's good, at least.
Funny. I like. Do you ever have like a premise for an idea in your head, and you're like, I just want to see if this is even funny? You know, like try to deliver it in a conversational way to a friend without them knowing. You're like,
I don't really do that with friends anymore because of all the times that they're just like, what?
Yeah.
But I'll do that with Patrick, and there's times when he'll be like, oh, okay, that's something, and there's other times he's just deadpan at me, and I'm just like, and that hurts more because I'm just like, I guess I'm not onto something here.
Yeah.
But then it will like be talking about something normal, or like something will come up, and then you can see it both in our eyes where our brain goes there, and then we'll kind of like try to like jump to the like punchline at the same time. And it's just this whole fun thing.
Yeah.
So
I did that this morning with a buddy. I was giving him a ride up to Warrensburg, and I keep seeing these like AI videos of Bob Ross.
Oh my gosh.
That's just like completely out of pocket for him. And this one this morning was like Bob Ross with a big fat ass, like painting a picture of a cake.
I'm dead. I hate AI, but that's awesome.
Literally like dozens of videos of just like similar things, like Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers. They're like, I'm pretty sure they'd be pissed about what we're doing to their reputation and their body. Like,
they would probably not approve. They're like, this isn't art.
It was,
You think my life's a joke?
Right. So I was like, kind of delivered that to my friend, and he laughed. I was like, okay, maybe we have something here.
Yeah, we write that down. Yeah, totally.
Oh, that's funny. Nice. Well, what's your kind of writing like routine? I know you mentioned talking to Patrick and kind of like shooting ideas off of each other. Like, what do you write in a notebook? Do you like type it out? Like, what do you do?
So I have a joke notes in my phone where I'll write down like a few words of something like just in real time that I'll think of, and I'll write that down real quick, because if I don't write it down, I'll fucking forget it. And then I'm just like, the best joke in the world just was for a guy, and that's what was going to make me famous. What have I done? So I'm very like, driving and swerving and killing people, probably typing into my joke notes. But after that, I'm very much like write it in my head, like where do I think it's going, and then I like write it out. And then I definitely like it down on paper. Paper is like my friend for sure. Yeah. Sometimes I'll write it full fleshed out, or sometimes I'll just write like little ideas, like little keywords or whatnot. But a lot of my jokes just come to me in conversation, or when I'm driving, or like kind of in like a headspace that I'm able to just kind of let my brain go different places. So I write a lot of jokes when I'm giving massages too, which is funny. That's a pain in the ass, because I'll be like, I can't write it down, so I'm just like repeat it over and over. Your grandmother's dead. She's dead. She's dead. She's dead. Just like over and over again.
Just like write it and with your finger on their back or something.
Or I'm just like, hey, remember this?
Yeah.
Big butts. I don't know. It's just like kind of silly, but I'm not really the type of person that's like, I'm gonna sit down and write right now. I don't know. That always feels kind of forced to me, and doesn't feel like the creative juices are really flowing that much when I try to do that. But it is something that I've been wanting to kind of do more often, because sometimes you gotta just write,
Even if, I've had like, there's times where I have like a premise in my head, or even sometimes I'll just go back to old jokes I've written. Yeah. Like write out the premise on a page and just kind of thought bubble off of that, and like try to get new punchlines. Yeah. And like even just like I'm kind of the same way. Like it's hard for me to feel like just sitting down and writing is like good. Yeah. It's like the same with reading. Like I don't love to read. Like I'm not going to sit down and just read. Yeah. But like I need to do that for writing at least. I'm still not going to read. But I'll sit down and write, and I really need to do that, because it's like that's what we do. Like
I know it's. I really do admire a lot of people that are just like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and dedicate, and I'm gonna write blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's cool. Everyone has their different creative processes though, and I'm like, I feel like I put that amount of writing, like I put that time into just in different ways. Like I said, I'll be driving and I'll write like a joke, or I'll write this or that, or I'll add on to other jokes, or I'll just like let my mind wander, and then I'll be riffing with friends, and like, obviously all my friends know that I'm a comic, so it's like an ongoing bit that I have with them where I'm just like, that's funny, I'm stealing it, you won't get any credit, but you might get royalties one day. And like that's just like this thing, and everyone's like, I don't have the balls to say it on stage, so do what you will. So there are some jokes that I have that was just like a riffing with a friend, and they like said something funny, I'm just like, that's mine now. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't feel like joke stealing, that just feels like
I do that like
we're riffing.
I have like a notes tab on my phone that I just write down like a bunch of thoughts, or like something that some of it's asinine. Like
yes. Oh my god.
I don't even want to read this out loud. This is like what if someone hacked Stephen Hawking's computer and made him consent to physician-assisted suicide?
Oh, I like that. That's good.
That was a premise. Like, it was just a thought we were like talking about, like, because we were talking about that, like, physician-assisted suicide.
Yeah,
like, I wonder how this works in some situations. Like, this is probably never going to go anywhere. But
yeah, at least it's like legible. There's like my joke notes is like it's for years now. You know, like there's at the beginning of it, you scroll and there's like all my debut show jokes are in there. You know, they're all just sitting there still. But there are times like when I was like in my heavy party era that I'd like go back into my joke notes and like, I think there was something funny about last night. Yeah. And I'll like look and it's just like, what the fuck does this mean? Like, I was on one. Like, what? It's like all mistyped too. Yeah. I'm just like hammered. Just like, this is funny. This is so good.
Soggy throw pillows. What? What am I to do with that? Like, that's weird.
What does that even mean? Yeah. Like, yeah. So sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just scroll and be like, huh. Some of it, I'm like, oh, I guess I know what that means. And other times, I'm just like, what?
Yeah. It's so funny. I feel like that's such a relatable thing with comics, especially.
Yeah.
We were like, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. I think people I worked with, where I was like, you ever just feel like you're like everything else is not real? You're like, am I the Truman Show?
Yes.
Like,
oh my God, that's crazy.
Where's the cameras? Like, this has to be like not reality. Like, this is set up.
Crazy.
Somehow
relatable.
I'm like adopted and just put in this situation.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
That's so funny. Was there a time you needed to get out, by the way?
No, I'm just chilling. The mic doesn't start for a while.
Cool.
I'm here for a hang.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Who's your favorite comics? What do you like?
My favorite comics, they're always changing and adapting with where I'm just like at and stuff in life. Like growing up, like I was like, I feel like I was really in love with like Dave Chappelle and stuff. Like I loved the Chappelle Show. Was always like a huge fan of that. I didn't watch a lot of like stand up and stuff growing up, but just more like kind of like sketch shows I was really into.
Yeah.
Watch those with my brother and whatnot, and we always thought that they were super silly. Right now, I would say that Nikki Glaser is my favorite. I think she's just so versatile.
Yeah.
She just like, I feel like, and this probably sounds like so like out of touch, but like I feel very similar to her in like a very small scale where I'm just like, I like to have my toes dipped in a lot of different things. You know, she's hosting a bunch of shit. She's doing her stand up. She's just doing whatever she wants to fucking do. And I like, she's got like music out. I'm just like, why the fuck not? You know? Yeah. Well, it's not good, you know, but you might as well. You got a platform, like just do whatever you want to do, you know? So, I just really admire her. And her like story getting into comedy, like for me it was like I kind of forgot to touch base on this. I just talked about like the debut of the show and stuff. I hit like rock bottom, like mental health wise, and I needed like an outlet and kind of needed something to live for, if you will. So comedy just kind of became that, and it was just such a good outlet for me. For Nikki Glaser, she was struggling really bad with eating disorder, and she almost died.
Oh, really?
And she was like, it was really bad, and then she was like, she like went to an open mic, and she told her parents, she's like, I found something to live for, and that's what inspired her to get the help that she needed and to get better and to, you know, fight that horrible disease, you know, and that was like 20 years ago, you know, so Nikki's journey has been a long one. She's put in a lot of work, started from scratch in like Denver or something like that, you know, which, you know, is a city. So I'm always like, anyone who's like born in a city and starts doing comedy, there's just like, I feel like they have a little bit of an upper hand in a lot of ways.
Compared to like Georgia, especially.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, so I would say that she's probably my favorite. I really like Anthony Jeselnik. I like Jordan Jensen. I like her a lot. I like Kelsey Cook. They're always changing though. They're always adapting. I'm always seeing new comics that I've never heard of, and definitely been watching it a lot more these days, obviously. Like we went and saw Mark Norman, and like I would never really listened to him or saw his work before. Then we went and I was like, this guy is a machine. Like he crushes and he's just so likable. And
talk about someone that writes a lot too. Like
exactly.
Crazy.
Just like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, how am I still I don't know. It's just like joke and this is, and then this, and then this is a joke, and this is a joke, and then we're doing this topic, and now we're here, and I'm just like, what a journey you brought us on, dude.
So seasoned.
Yeah, exactly.
He was at the Egg, right? You went and watched him there?
Yeah, and Pat actually ended up accidentally getting us like the meet and greets, like, which was a great accident.
Yes, yeah.
I'm like, great mistake, babe. So we got to meet him after the show, and we had like front row seats too, you know, but it was funny. We went up there and we're just like, everyone's just like, you know, getting a picture and like introducing themselves, and we're like, let's ask him to say I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
And we're like, can you say I hate when that happens so we can record it? He's like, okay.
Yeah.
He's so cool about
He's
it.
like, I hate when this happens.
Yeah, right. We literally ran away like little giddy schoolgirls, like, so excited. He was probably like fucking freaks.
Yeah.
Like,
You should make that the intro to your show. Put that up front. It's his voice.
well, we shared that clip because we were just like, oh, let's just share the clip, you know, and it was accidentally deceiving. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, you're having Mark Norman as a guest. We're like, all right, we didn't say that. He just said I hate when that happens. And
You should be like, yeah, go like and subscribe.
Yeah,
like,
right. Check out the episode.
Out,
It'll be out any day now. But he's apparently a really cool guy, and like, if like Patrick was like, if we reached out to him, I honestly think he would do an episode. Like, he's willing to do whatever. Like, he's just a really down to earth dude. So
yeah, that's cool.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, he'll do anything for work.
Yeah, right.
He lives in the city, I think.
He does.
So
Yeah. So
when I went down, I think June, to do like open mics, and I went down for the St. Mark's like competition thing they were doing.
Yep.
I went to an open mic at the stand, and there was a guy there who was like, whose wife is like best friends with Mark's wife or whatever. So he was talking about like rubbing shoulders with him all the time.
Nice.
And, I was like, it's a pretty sweet connection to have. Like, if you could take advantage of that. But
yeah, seriously.
But at the same time, like, also being in their shoes is probably annoying as fuck to like.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
Another person asked me to like open for me. Like, well, whatever.
Yeah, right. It's like, sure, you can do it.
Yeah. I wonder if he's ever come up to Comedy Works. Probably back in the day. Maybe.
I think so. Back in the day. Yeah. Now it's just like, you never know who's going to be there. You usually don't know who it is.
Yeah.
They don't even know.
The
whole thing.
I just walked by today and there was no posters out front. It kind of looked like it was closed down a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens soon.
So if you're looking for a new owner.
Yeah, right.
I've got like $20 a down payment or something.
Right? As I was like, Patrick, we need to open up a comedy club. Like, that'd be sick. Yeah. So
that is one of my end goals one day. Like, I'd love to own a club.
I feel like that's on my goals too. Like, I feel like after the fact, I'm like, after I, am touring nationally, internationally, and have my own TV show and do all that stuff, that I'll just open up a club and just hopefully just bring more comedy to other people and just bring opportunities for other comics to get their big break. You know? Like,
that'd be sick. Yeah, because
like I feel like we do that on a very small scale, producing shows. We're just like, it feels good to give other people opportunity, to give them stage time. Yeah. Especially when it's like good stage time, and a good show that you're producing. So to be able to do that on such a big scale would be like sick. Yeah.
Well, you did that for me. I mean, the Bowling Alley show was the first show I was asked to be on.
Oh, yay. Yeah.
So I was like, this is cool.
Oh, yeah. That was a no-brainer. I'm like, Caleb's a shit. Fun. He's a local. He's putting in the work. Let's get him on there.
Yeah, it was fun. I appreciate that a lot. It was a good show.
Yeah, maybe the Bowling Alley will want to do more shows there. The room's a little tough, as you know, like, and I was grateful that you had the gear because, like, me and my amp, which we're not having the amp tonight. Just now, Patrick is very gracious, and he's like, "Well, you can use my gear." And I'm like, "Thank God!" Like, this amp needs to be retired. Stat.
Yeah.
Like,
that was tough. I think you had that for the first open mic at Lagoon.
I had for both. Yeah. I
remember like trying to get a guitar plugged in there and the mic, and like it was weird, like the feedback and.
Oh, it was a whole thing. Well, it's funny because so for my debut show, we're like approaching the show then like one of my buddies was just like, what are you doing for sound? I'm like, oh God, that's something that needs to happen. Like, why the fuck? I don't know anything. I'm like, what am I doing? So luckily I'm friends with a lot of musicians. So I just like reached out to one of my buddies and his band Eating the Water. And I was just like, do you have some gear I can use and borrow? And they're like, yeah. So they like showed me how to use it, blah, blah, blah. But obviously I had to give it back. And then after that, I'm just like, I feel like I should have a setup, So I ended up going to just the like guitar store in Glens Falls. I can't even North Country Guitar, I think it's called.
Yep.
Because I was just like, I think this is where you'd get this stuff. Like, I literally have no idea what I'm doing. So I walk in, and then the guy, he's owned it forever. He probably sold my parents the guitar that I begged them for when I was 10 that I still haven't touched. And he was like, what do you do? And I'm just like, I'm a comedian. And he's like, what? So I'm like, and I need a mic and a mic stand and something for the sound to come out of. And, and he was just like, well, if you don't want to break the bank, like, because he looked at me, he was like, you're poor, like you're coming in here and dropping thousands of dollars on gear right now, Well, he was so nice, but he was just like, well, this amp for the price point, and you can plug it in and blah, 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 and like kind of walked me through it. I was like, yeah, that should be fine. Nice. Like, I had no idea. And I went to buy like a light system too, and I should have just got like a spotlight. Like, that's obviously the move, but he I can't. He like sold me these small like color changing lights. And,
I was hoping that's where it was going.
Yeah, and like he's like, I don't even know how you're gonna hang them. So then he sold me like a like a stand for like a speaker stand that we rigged the lights onto. So this is like this whole thing, and I was just like dead. And I was like, this is such a cool setup. And I like brought it to the trap, and I was like, okay, maybe I kind of fucked up, but I just maxed out my credit card for this shit,
Please tell me you had like party lights going during your first show.
Yeah. Well, so my other friend Val, her dad is like a whole like sound engineer, like for like New Paltz, or I don't know what he is, but he's like an official dude. And she was like, I can borrow some lights from my dad for your show. I'm like, that'd be great. So like my lighting for my show was sick. And it was proper, but now I just have that like at our house, just like sitting there like this random like light. So it's so funny. Really but funny. I went in there recently though to get another mic, and because I was like, I should just probably have an extra one just in case. And he was like, oh, how can I help you? I'm like, oh, I'm looking for a mic. He actually sold me some stuff for stand. He's like, how's the stand-up going? Like, he remembered me. It was super cute. I'm like, that's good. Yeah. That's good. We're getting there.
Yeah. No, he's a nice guy. He sold me that.
He's so nice.
That I bought that keyboard over there from him.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
And a few, like, a bunch of cords and wires and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He'd be super kind.
Yeah, he really is.
So. That's funny. But you do learn a lot producing shows and like learning what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, there's like kind of like stuff that you don't think of and you don't figure it out until after the fact. Like I'm still learning so much. Like I'm kind of in my era of like, I don't know how many more shows I want to be how often I want to be producing shows right now. So it really does feel like it takes away from my writing and my craft a lot, unfortunately. And it's just a lot of pressure, you know. Like, I love creating opportunity for myself and for others, and especially when you start off, like if you're not getting booked that many shows and like throw your own shows, you know, there's some stage time and there's a great way to network and connect with other people, make a good name for yourself with your community, and people take you more seriously that way. You know, they think of comedy, they think of you. That's a good thing, you know. But it's a lot, and then, you know, sometimes if you don't like, nothing feels better than like throwing a really good show, and nothing feels worse than throwing a really shitty show. Like, I'd rather bomb on stage than throw a shitty show, you know. Like, it's a different type of humbling.
It is.
It's just like,
there's a lot of pressure for throwing a show.
It's a lot.
Your end might be coming undone a little bit. I don't know.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. The Firehouse show was the first one I ever produced, which that was like an undertaking. It was a lot.
That's a big, that's a proper venue to be proud of a show on, so you should be proud of that.
It was. I was really happy with the show, especially for the first one.
Yeah.
I think the comics did well, and then Ray closing out the show was a huge blessing. Yeah, he was so good.
Absolutely.
But like, I definitely know things I'll do differently next time, like seating arrangement.
Seating arrangement was a huge thing that I didn't think of at first. I'm just like, people just sit wherever they want. That's fine.
Right.
Now, like at the Saranac shows that I just had in the Waterhole, they had a door guy who was like collecting money for tickets, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was like the extra door guy that like brought them to ushered them to their seat. Like, I was just like, hey, thanks for coming, and this is where you're gonna be.
Right.
You know? And I'm just like, and it's you gotta be kind of like cool about it, where you're like, you don't want them to feel like they're being put there so that they're going to get fucked with. You know, nobody wants to feel that. So I'm just like, I always just like the terminology is important, you know. I'm like, it's going to be an intimate show to make the show better, to make the show more intimate. Right. Let's keep it up in the front of the first few rows and then fill it in from there. And people are usually really understanding of that, you know.
I tried to do that or have them do that at the Indian Lake show because I knew it was like, it's a big venue.
It is, yeah.
And I knew they had like 30, 40 tickets sold. So like, I don't want them all like, especially sitting in the back out or something.
Yeah,
so
totally.
like, they were telling people to like go more towards the front, which helped. But that's definitely you don't know that stuff until you do a show.
You don't know that until you got a show and everyone's in the back and you're like, what have I done?
Yeah. I also spent like a lot of money like printing off flyers, and I spent like hours that day and the day before going around like handing out flyers to people, and that just didn't turn up a lot. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Listen, I am like, if you want a flyer, good on you, more power to you, but I am not that girly.
Yeah.
I am not hitting the ground, especially in a small town like this. It's not like, if you're in a city, maybe it's where, I don't know. I've actually never seen it be like enough of a payoff for me to justify it, you know.
Yeah, by the time you get everything printed, like I don't have a printer here, so I just do it at like Staples.
Yeah,
so I'm like $50 getting
it's
these things printed.
Yeah,
and
it's
just a lot.
Yeah, but it you know, you do it if you think it's worth it. Anyone out there, you know, but just lower your expectations, maybe.
Yeah, I just put out. I'm doing a Halloween show in Glens Falls.
I saw that. Yeah,
I'm super excited for that one.
That's huge, and that venue is amazing. Yes. I love it. What room are you doing it in?
The cabaret room.
Oh,
like
perfect!
Room.
So cute. Yeah. I love that little room. Yeah.
I asked to do a tour there because I was like interested in doing a show around there. Yeah. And they, like, the theater is awesome. Like, cool room. Want to do a show there eventually. But we both agreed, we're like, let me start off in the small room.
Totally.
Like,
and there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. Like, start small, show what you can do, and then build from there. Like, you'd rather do that than the other way around. Then, like, try to go into the big theater, have a lackluster show, and then have to go do the cabaret and feel weird about it. You know what I mean? Like, they're so nice there, too. Like, I had my headshots done a couple years ago by my friend Kayla Chetney. And she was like, where do you want to do the photo shoot? And I was just like, at the Trap, I guess, because that was like the only thing that I had going for me at that point. And she's like, no. Yeah. She's like, I'm going to reach out to Charles and Arwood Theater and see if they'd let us use the venue just for the photography. And hopefully they won't charge us or anything. And I was like, yeah, do your thing, sis. And they were like, yeah, we'd be happy to have you. And so I have these really awesome shots from there that I use regularly, and they'll even share it if I tag them and stuff. They're just good people.
That's super cool. Yeah. I work with Emily. I think Murphy's her last name there.
Yeah.
Like the director or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's who I met. Yeah.
So amazing.
So yeah, she's like, she's like, what do you need for lighting? We'll have it set up for you. And I was just like, you got it the best.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna hug you.
Yeah, she's like, this is the fit. She's like, this is the dressing room. I'm like, oh my God, this is official.
Yeah. You should be like, hey, can I do an hour special here?
Yeah, right. Oh, they go. Now hear me out.
It's such a cool room. I'm excited to do that.
Yeah, that'll be great.
They were excited to, like, they do a decent amount of comedy there. I think like Comedy Works actually does a few shows there.
I think I've seen that for like New Year's Eve or something something big like that. And then I know that one of the improv tropes around here they do a show there too. So that's cool.
But they were pretty supportive. Like, I had the idea to do like the Halloween, like kind of a secret lineup show, like do like a costume party for adults and like just drink and have fun.
Yeah.
And they were like, this sounds really cool. Let's do it. So they've been super supportive and
that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I'm stoked. As far as like advertisement wise, I'm doing like social media campaigns for that now. Like,
that's the way to do it.
Just advertising on there, and it's a lot
honestly
easier.
Everyone's on their phones anyways and on the screens anyways. Like the years that we live in these days, like no one's looking at posters hanging out in a fucking building. They just aren't. You know? Yeah. So unless they're like 90 and seconds from death, and do you want them at a comedy show?
Although
maybe not.
They do have a poster there at the theater, and it's like of the flyer that I made. I was can I have that when I'm done? Like, I'm gonna hang out somewhere around here.
Yeah. Can I have that? Yeah. No, absolutely. I have posters from certain shows and venues that like mean a lot to me that I've like put aside too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what's outside of comedy? Tell us about yourself.
Let's see. So I'm a Lake George born and raised townie, if you will. Not living here anymore, which is kind of nice. Just an hour away. It's been good. I have a love-hate relationship with the area, and I always will just be like, oh, like I love it so much, and then like I'll just get into this place like, I gotta get out of here, like. But usually I'll like leave town and like go really far away. So this is not too shabby. I'm like, oh, I built something here, and but yeah, I'm a licensed massage therapist. That's my day job. So wellness practitioner by day and degenerate by night.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a double life, if you will.
You want to plug your business and stuff?
Yeah. So KG Healing Artist is kind of the brand. I started off like doing like music festivals and stuff. I would do like chair massage for people in the crowd and whatnot, and then I built up from there, and then I started doing backstage massages and working with the musicians and the stage hands and all that stuff, and kind of being more in the backstage era, which was really cool. But I have a private practice. I'm working out of Malta right now at the capital area physical therapy and wellness. So feel free to call to book. Can I put the number in? Can I plug the phone number?
Yeah.
518-289-5242. So come and see me. I love holding space for people, making them feel good.
I'll tag you in the post too, so people
Thank
can
you.
find you online.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. Yeah, it's funny. Like I've been in biz. I actually just celebrated 8 years the other day.
Nice.
And it's been a journey. But a lot of the marketing and business aspect that I learned through my massage biz just translated very well to the comedy world.
Yeah.
I just know how to sell myself,
Yeah.
Not that way. I keep saying things out of context.
Yeah. I'm going to clip this shit out of this.
It's not that kind of massage business.
Yeah. I'll make a little ad for you based off this. Kay Goutos, I sell myself. Cut, yeah. That's your phone number.
Yeah, right.
Written on a bathroom stall wall or something. I don't know. That's crazy. No, that's cool.
Yeah, but a big kind of wellness girly. Love to travel and the outdoors. I've got a dog. Kind of stepping into this new era of kind of stepmom life with Patrick and the boys, which has been really nice. They're really good kids. We all have a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
So
that's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot of nannying over the years too, so I'm like extremely comfortable with kids. So it's like been quite an easy adjustment. I would imagine if I didn't have that nanny background, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like what do I do?
Yeah.
Like how do I like coexist? But it's been so easy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good.
Was that a weird adjustment for them at all?
I don't think so. They seem to be totally cool with it. I mean, I'm like, we're always worried. I'm just like, are they cool with me being here? He's like, yeah, you live here. Like I think that they're fine. But it was just very important for me that they didn't feel, displaced from their own house, from having someone new there. And then, I have a dog too, and they didn't grow up with dogs, so they're just kind of learning like what dogs are like, you know, like, and she's not just like a regular dog, like she's a working dog, so she's just like crazy and loud and a lot. She's such a good girl and she's so sweet, but like
what kind of dog is she?
She's an Australian cattle dog mixed with a mini Australian Shepherd. So she's just like a psychopath. But so she like barks and they're like, Cleo, oh my God, I'm just like, she's just saying hi, you know what I mean? Like this is what dogs do, you know? But overall, I think that everyone's doing like really well and we're happy.
Yeah, good. I'm happy to hear that. That's
thanks. Cool. I appreciate it.
I'm like sad to see you move from the area, but I think I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, I think it's for the best. It's kind of funny how it works though. Like I was like, I kind of like kept it like low key. I didn't like really tell anyone at first because I didn't want the guilt trip. Like people don't mean it, but they're like, what do you mean you're moving? Like, but when am I gonna see you? And they're like, people kind of take it personally sometimes. I'm just like, oh, I gotta do this, and I'll still be around, I promise, but it's just kind of funny when you like start to make moves, how like opportunities will just like start, and I'm just like, where were all these opportunities when I was here? You know what I mean? Like now everyone wants a home massage, and people are like, do a show here, do a mic here. I'm like, well, I built something there, and I'm gonna have to keep going.
I was gonna say you're still very well connected. It's not like you're displaced from this area completely.
No,
like,
totally. It's like that's part of the upside of being a townie, I guess, is that like I do know everybody and they be knowing me.
Yeah.
So for the best and for the worst.
Yeah. Well, I like a lot of people that I've met when I mention I do comedy, they're like, "Oh, you do you know Kay Goutos?" Like, yeah, I do actually.
I love that. And that's what's happening to me with you too. Just so nice. Oh, you know,
cool.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, especially with the small area stuff, like how that can happen. Like, do you know Frankie Jeb?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's not living around here anymore. He's down in the city, but he's from Ticonderoga, so that's like even more like up there, you know.
I didn't know he was from way up there.
Yeah, so when I first started doing comedy, my brother's best friends, they were like, I had like my debut show, and they're like, "Oh, like I know this other stand-up comic. Like I wanna set you up on a blind date with him." And I was just like, "Oh, maybe like whatever, you know." And like nothing came about of it. And then we ended up just meeting each other at the mic. And we were like casually dating for a few months after that, which was just so funny how it worked out. That where I'm just like, "Hey, we were supposed to be set up on the blind date," and then we just like met organically. But he's a great dude.
Yeah,
so,
he is. He actually. Pardon me. One of my friends was. Like knew him from, I guess he was like ski patrol.
Gore. Yeah,
my friend was also that, so he's like, "Oh, I gotta connect you with my friend, like Frankie." Like, no, I know Frankie already. It's not super well, but
it's a small circle. Yeah. So
he hosted the first mic I did at Comedy Works.
Oh, really?
Which was funny because we were talking about like your first mics earlier. Like my first open mic was at Comedy Works.
Yeah,
he was there hosting, and then Jay was also there.
Okay.
And I kept mixing them up. Like I thought they were just the same person.
Funny.
Which now I'm like, they don't look anything like. But I'm like, at the time I was like, this is the same guy. I'm pretty sure.
They have like similar energy.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
Yeah. But I remember, that was like a false like confidence thing. I remember going up and being like, I'm gonna crush this. This could be great. Because I had like done sets before for like talent shows.
Okay. Yeah.
And I actually did like pretty well. Like really well.
That's awesome.
And I did that was at like a Christian camp like years ago, and that material did not translate to Comedy Works.
And you always have to remember too when you go to open mic, like it's just a bunch of fucking comic dweebs mostly in the crowd who those are gonna be your harshest critics. You know, like sometimes you get like the best laughs, and you know that's a good joke when like you've got your comedy crew laughing and stuff. But like when you're a noob and you go up there and you like and it just falls flat, it's just like. Sometimes it's not that you just suck. Sometimes it's just like the comics are kind of assholes too. Rightfully so. It's just kind of like so.
Well, I remember Jay came up afterwards. I was just trying to meet some people and like talk to Jay. He was like, "Yeah, keep coming back. There's something there." Like that was encouragement. I was like, "Oh."
Sometimes you like need that. I got like bum rushed by the crew, but it was also because I'm just a girl and they're just like, "Whoa!" They're like. Foaming at the mouth. I'm like, go away.
It's a bunch of dumb idiot boys. Like, have your number. So really
that
funny.
Was your first time? Oh, you're pretty good. You should do this next time. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Beat it, nerd.
Yeah.
Now they're all my besties.
Here's how you hold a mic stand. Like reaching around. You know, it's like trying to teach how to golf or something.
Like it's a pool cue or something.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that's funny. I actually like that. I might need to steal that.
Oh, go for it. I'm not gonna use that one.
You should. I feel like you could still pull that off.
Well, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I saw Kay. I'm like, here, let me teach you.
No, the other way around. A girl did it to you.
Yeah. You were barking up the wrong tree.
Like, can I get one of the guys over here to show me how to do it?
That's so funny. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's so funny, like reflecting back on like first open mics and stuff. I'm like really religious about recording all my sets, so I was like, going through and like watching some of my old mics the other day. That I like when I was newer, I like looked back on those like, man, I did really good.
Yeah,
now I look back like compared to sets now, and I'm like, this is fucking awful. This is dog shit.
It's so funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's so true. Like I rewatched my first set because my first comedy set was my first open mic was at Comedy Works as well, and I had like a set list of like some of the jokes that I was going to do for my debut show, and then. Right before I went up there, I'm just going to go tell a story instead. Which is so classic, cliche, like first time open mic or like tell a funny story and see if you get laughs. So I went up there and I told this like story about how I was in a wet t-shirt contest when I was in Australia and like just went on this whole thing and like there was like one part of it that was funny, but like I was up there for like 4 minutes of like telling the whole story, just like all these unnecessary details, which you find out later in your comedy career that like the more you cut out, sometimes the better.
Oh my gosh,
And that's something that I still struggle with, you know, like I have this one joke that was from my debut show, and I was like, this is funny. And I would try it, and I would never get laughs. And I'm just like, fuck you guys, this is funny, and I know it is. Like, and I was like, Patrick, you need to help me. Like, what am I doing wrong here? He's just like, you're just like too wordy. You're saying too much up there. Like, cut this. And then it just should be a one-liner. I don't know why you have to tell, like, because I just feel so. Like, I have to be so truthful sometimes with everything that I say that I'm like, oh, I got to give them the whole story. It's just like, sometimes you don't, you know?
Yeah.
So I finally cut out all the nonsense, and I did that joke at the Battle of the Sexes show the other night. And it was just a one-liner, and I finally got the laugh, and I was like, I knew it! After all these years, I knew it. And that's why I always tell people, give that joke as many times, as many chances as you gave your ex. You know, like, give it a chance. Because sometimes the joke's not funny, but sometimes you just need to adjust the wording, you need to adjust the premise, the stuff. Sometimes you need to have a better crowd. There's so many different things. So just don't give up on it until eventually sometimes you have to.
I forget who said it. It was another podcast. It may have been your podcast. I don't know. Someone had said, like, if you have like a 2-minute bit, write and make it 4 minutes, and then cut it down to 2 minutes again. Like, to like add tags and stuff on. I was like, that's actually pretty a cool way to think about it.
I don't think that was ours, but I like that. That's good advice for sure.
But I was like, that's super smart, and I'm like trying to do that. I have like older bits that same deal. Like I had one, like I had a story where this is true. Like I went and got my hair cut, and there was like an 80-year-old bar, or like a female stylist that came out and cut my hair, and she had like a booger hanging out of her nose the whole time. Like, I don't know why I thought that was going to be my career, making a joke. Like, just hanging on this booger joke. Like, I thought it was going to be amazing. I practiced this 4-minute set before Comedy Works like a bunch. I remember going to the gym and being like on the elliptical, like fucking it's not blah blah. I was like writing, just going through it in my head. And I walked up on there with such confidence. I was like, I'm going to sit on the stage and pretend like she's spinning. I'd be on the bar stool and pretend like she's spinning me around in the chair. And I'm going to do like a physical like act, and that's going to be great.
Oh, my God. Nothing is more humbling, in my opinion, when you think you've got like the physical comedy thing on. You're like, this is the physical comedy bit that people are going to. I had one of those too early on that I'm like, nope, that was not it. It was so humbling. I had like one line that got like a little bit of laughs. I was like, it was like I'm looking down the barrel of a double barrel snot gun was like my joke. I said that, like there was a chuckle in the crowd, and Brad came up afterwards. He was hosting and was like, wow, it's good you had that one line, because that whole set was shit. I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Let me go cry in my seat by myself.
Yeah. That's another thing. We'll talk about the tears that come with comedy too. That is a natural part of the process, and I encourage everybody out there to cry it out if you need to. Like, definitely.
I also have this thought. I'm like, there's a bunch of people in the scene that are just incredibly funny. There's also some very new people that are just getting their feet under them. And every time I see someone that like bombs their first like few sets or whatever, I'm like, this could be great one day, because they're keeping at it, and like they're like, you know, they're putting their head to the grindstone and like going for it. You know, I'm like, it's cool.
And nothing like for me is better. Like now that I'm been in the scene for a couple of years, is like seeing like the newcomers and like get better and put in the work. Like there's other people too that I've seen like at the Comedy Works that like the first few times I saw them, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cringe. Like, and I never in my head, I'm like, don't like, you should not be doing comedy. I'd never think that. I think everybody has a chance and can build something and can create something. But there are times where I'm just like, what the fuck? You know? But then to see them blossom and to like get comfortable, get confident. Because that's the thing with comedy, is that like, if you're going up there to try it, 99% of the time is because you think you're funny, or someone has told you you're funny, you've made people laugh, and that's great. But comedy, stand-up in particular, you have to be comfortable on stage, and not everybody has that right away. And I've noticed that with a lot of comics is they're super funny, and then they have to build something different. They have to work on different things, like they don't have to work on being funny. They have to work on being comfortable on stage, or they have to work on their delivery. Like everyone has their own uphill battle, For me, like I've gotten more comfortable on stage, but I started off pretty comfortable. I did like musicals and stuff in high school. I'm like love being the center of attention, like I'm okay with that spotlight. And I think that gave me like a little bit of an edge in that department, and I haven't had to work on that. I've just had to work on being funnier,
Sure.
And obviously getting more comfortable as well, because you can only get more comfortable over time. But yeah, it's just interesting how everyone brings something different to the table and what they have to work on.
Yeah.
So.
Excuse me. This coffee's hitting right now. The physical comedy side, like we were mentioning, like I wish I could be more physical on stage. I just haven't figured out how to do that well.
Yeah.
I've had like ideas of like physical things I could do, like but like they've never really landed that well. So I'm like, I wish I could do this, because I like acting out funny stuff.
Well, keep trying it. Keep at it. That's one of the things that you got to get more comfortable with. I have like a couple of I have a couple of them that I'm like, I feel comfortable and it lands, but it still feels a little weird sometimes doing it.
Yeah, it's
executing it.
It's kind of uncomfortable.
It's an extra level of vulnerability.
Yeah, it is.
Because just like now I'm not just saying goofy shit. Like I look like a goofy motherfucker right now.
Yeah.
Like, and either that's gonna be great or it's gonna be like, yikes.
Yeah. Like not only did the joke bomb, but I bombed and I look goofy.
Exactly. It's like.
This is awful.
What am I doing to myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks to that hair cutting joke now. This is
the PTSD
so bad.
is real. The comedy PTSD is so real.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, what's you have some shows coming up?
Yeah. I'll do a quick little plug-a-roo, and then we'll probably get moving here because I do got to go set up soon.
Yeah.
What date is it today? It's the 15th. So I have 2 shows coming up. I'm heading downstate, actually. I was able to double up on some shows down there.
Nice.
I have a show at the Crow Egg Brewery in Rhinebeck. That's on October 24th.
They've been doing a few shows lately, right?
So they've been David Stickle, he is the producer for the shows there. He's a great dude. I was just on a podcast. He has his own podcast called Likeable. Episode I did with him actually just came out today. So you guys can go check that out if you want to. He's a really good dude.
I think it's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple.
He's like the Hudson Valley dude. So he put me on that show, and that's at 7 p.m. and then I'm heading back up north to Hudson at the Park Theater Hudson. So that's in Hudson, New York, and that's at 8 p.m. That's a nice showcase put on by like David Britton and Andy McDermott. So those are my next 2 shows. I'm really excited about those. And then after that, we're on into November, and I don't know where my brain is. So it's just like I have like a little show list, and honestly, I just use the show list to just keep my schedule organized. Like I'll just I'll book something, I'm writing it down on there just so I know that that's like my calendar, if you will. So,
nice.
But that's what I've got going on for October.
Cool. That's exciting.
Thanks for having me.
Show. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug your podcast too?
Yes. If you liked to hear me yap as much as I like to hear myself yap, I do have a podcast with Patrick Smith, my partner. It's called I Hate When That Happens, and we're on Spotify and other stuff. You can't see our pretty little faces because we don't have all that stuff just yet, but you can listen to us talk about comedy in our weeks and whatever else we want to talk about.
You guys have been plugging away on it. You're like 30 episodes.
We're trying. We were like so consistent. We're at like 34, I think. We were so consistent. Every Tuesday we'd come out with, and then after the move, we had like a few weeks where we were just like, life is too chaotic. So we're trying to get back into the swing of it. And we need to just have some more guests and stuff on too, because we're just getting sick of talking to each other.
Sure.
So.
Well, it's a really good podcast.
Thank you.
It's super fun. It's been good for me to I've gotten
that.
a lot of good insight on comedy stuff.
Cool,
I'm like, that's a really fucking good idea.
That's what to do and that's what not to do.
Yeah. But definitely go check it out, and then I'll put your links and stuff in the description.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, see you soon.